What's going on, everyone? It's TV, and today we're going to be going through the top 20 games like Blox Fruits. So obviously everyone knows about Blox Fruits by now. If you don't, probably don't play Roblox that much if you've never heard of this game. But if you have, you know Blox Fruits is based on the anime series One Piece, and it is like mega popular. Anime is crazy on Roblox. But what about all the different One Piece games on Roblox? There's tons of them. But today we're going to be going through the top 20 One Piece inspired Roblox games. But before I jump into these, please do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we're going to be going from the worst to the best, starting with number 20. And starting with number 20 is Vietnam Peace. You can see it is a One Piece inspired game. This game was kind of interesting. So, you know, I hopped in here. It looks pretty much like a fan game of Blox Fruits. It's kind of all over the place. You know, you got like different UI and such. Like the styles are all like over the place, pixelated UI, and then you got some other kind of fonts in here. But the main thing I noticed about this game was something that was really fun. The best part of the game is when you walk right outside and you get absolutely wrecked because they don't have a safe zone. Like literally, they didn't put a safe zone in this game. So if you're brand new to the game, this is why games like this fail. Is when you leave the spawn and you get absolutely destroyed. People don't like dying, dude. I mean, that's a bad experience. You give it, you know, gave me a bad experience right out the gate. And this is already kind of a dead game to me. Like, I'll never play this game again. I mean, sorry, devs, but I'll never play this game again. It's just that bad. They had some opportunity to make a cool game, and just small little tweaks like this can make the biggest difference. And so for this one, we're going to go and skip it. Now, there's a bunch of meme games based on Blox Fruits. You know, there's like Ohio Piece, there's like Cat Piece, there's all kinds of different meme games that are kind of crazy, and this is going to be one of them. You can see they got 482 active players. That's actually pretty impressive for a meme game. This one's kind of interesting. Like I said, there's a bunch of them on Roblox. Typically speaking, you'll see like excessive max levels. You get like levels way too quick. So like, watch, I'll show you this real quick after I kill this guy. Look at my level. Dude, my level just one kill, I got 142 levels, and that's just one kill, okay? That's not even quest complete. So, I mean, look at the bounty on some of these players. 436 million bounty. That's insane. So, you know, this one was kind of fun. I mean, honestly, it was entertaining. Like, if you just want to go into some goofy game and just kind of kill stuff and feel like you're progressing pretty quick, might be the game for you. I mean, it's actually entertaining. They have like multiple islands you can jump between. It's like a full-blown Blox Fruits game. I didn't really progress in this. In fact, most of these games that we're going to be covering today, I'm not really progressing very deep into, except for probably King's Legacy. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a simple little meme game. I've got 700 points. All right, next up we have a game called True Peace. Only 2 active out of all these players. I like this intro. I like this character. It looks really good. But the rest of the game kind of lacks, to be honest. Like, this game, I think it could have done a little bit better. Not only is like the whole quest UI kind of weird, like you have to practically like be on top of the player to be able to get the quest dialogue. Also, like the navigation feels real sloppy. Like the character movement felt really weird. This whole like toolbar thing was a little weird too. All right, so you can see we're gonna go and buy a random fruit just to support the game. might as well support the devs. I mean, they did put a lot of work into this. So here's our fruit, and in order to be able to use this fruit, it's kind of weird, dude. So you got to go into your inventory, and you got to go under skills, and then you can see the fruits there, and you got to eat it. And after you eat it, then you don't know where it goes, like what happened to it, and then you die, which is pretty common in most games. I don't know why you have to die when you change fruits. It's kind of odd, but that's the thing. And you see there's the fruit's kind of gone. Like, what do I do with the fruit? So you have to go over here to the skills, and you have to click on this like weird demon fruit button, then you got to drag that to a toolbar. It's just weird. It's just kind of odd. So very unusual game, like I said. And even the abilities just are odd. Like that's just a weird ability. All right, next up with number 17, we have King of Sea. Like, they got some fruits I've never heard of. Like, what's a Dark X Tremor? It's kind of interesting. Yeah, so they got quite a bit in the game, and there's only 33 active, but over 1 million visits, so it's pretty fresh. I mean, it's kind of a weird spawn. It feels like a typical fake game, and I have no idea why I'm Mink. Most of the UI is kind of laggy, so you click on a button and nothing happens for a bit. Devil Fruit Shop. I'm going to go and buy a Devil Fruit. So they kind of have the Blox Fruits, you know, style shop. I'm going to go and buy this because it looks cool. This is basically supposedly the best fruit in the game, so let's go and get it. Again, supporting the devs either way. Devil Fruit XP, unfortunately, and I don't have enough of that. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to grind it in this game. It just kind of looks a little weird. It's kind of hazy too. Like, I'm not really digging the lighting in this game. It just feels like kind of dreamlike. Like, I feel like I'm completely disconnected from the world. Very Blox Fruits for sure. It's like the same kind of like rock formations. It's like they basically copied Blox Fruits. A lot of these games are like that. What the heck is going on here? Oh, we got like an 800 ping. No, it's 1,000 ping. That's why. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a laggy experience. I don't know what to say about about that. I don't know if it's because it's just like the abilities might be lagging everything. But even the lighting's kind of weird though. Like the lighting just feels real dark. All right, next up we have a game called Last Pirate, and their current level cap is 4,000. That looks like they've got a ton of likes, 61,000 likes. They have a lot of fruits in the game that I've never heard of before. And this is where we start out, which is kind of interesting. It's almost like a miniature version of the castle. And the island itself is really tiny. Like it's just kind of feels a little empty too. So they got this whole like, instead of NPCs, they use these boards. Nice UI though. Like I like the sounds. I like the kind of style of it. And you just got to kill these guys. I mean, it feels good, very responsive. I like the combos. I like the knockback. You definitely feel, you know, powerful out the gate instead of them like wrecking you. And some of the games that we're going to be covering in a little bit, they have like a problem with, like sometimes they like completely combo freeze you, like they stun you with their attacks. And I don't think that's a good idea to have like early game. I think you could do that late game with mobs, but as a player that's brand new, it's not a good idea. So we did get a fruit here. It's the smoke fruit, and dude, it's OP. Like, it actually feels really good. Like the combat in this game feels good. The fruits, you know, that at least the fruit that I tried feels good. Definitely like it. Pretty sweet. This is a game I definitely would come back to check out, especially if it got popular. Next up, we have a game called Sea Piece, and 7 players. The UI feels nice. It's nice and clean. Really clean UI. Way better than Blox Fruits UI. Combat feels okay. Just a little bit of knockback. At least I'm still doing damage. I like the visual effects. They're clean. Just a note on this game, when you buy Game Pass stuff, it looks like you have to reload the game for them to take effect. So, you know, I think the devs could have probably fixed that pretty easily just by doing a check after purchases. But like right now, you actually have to reload the game. It's kind of weird. I feel like the NPCs look, you know, pretty clear on what they do. I like that. The map's pretty clean. I don't know. I kind of like this one. It's neat. It's clean. Here's the Dark Blade, by the way. I did have to restart and be able to, you know, use this, but it looks just like the Dark Blade from Blox Fruits. You know, me not knowing the One Piece, you know, anime, kind of, I get that this sword is like everywhere. This like sword's everywhere, so I'm assuming it's in the show. I do need to like, I need to watch the show. If this video gets 3,000 likes, I will watch the first season, I promise. And here's the light fruit inside the game. I just bought permanent light fruit. All right, there's light beam. There's our light flight. You can see there's no sound for the light flight. It's kind of, it feels a little empty. With number 14, we have a One Piece game. This one is kind of interesting. The lighting's nice. I like the UI. Very clean. I'm not really sure why, like when you're swinging and stuff, it like keeps doing like a sound, but you see like that? That's kind of weird. Opening the quest was kind of weird because you had to unequip your melee to be able to actually like click on the guy. I didn't like that. Also, the mobs were kind of far away from the quest giver. Like for the first quest, I think the mobs should be really close. I feel like most of these games should just keep the mobs pretty close to the quest giver. Otherwise, you kind of get lost. You're gonna lose a lot of players that way. I like to know like how much I'm gonna, you know, get if I kill them. Pretty easy to see how many like bandits I need to kill. Yeah, I like this. Like the UI is a little busy because like the world's not bad. I like the, you know, the world design. Like I said, the lighting's clean. Way better than Blox Fruits lighting in my opinion. Although we do have a, you know, revamp of Blox Fruits coming up pretty soon. I don't know why we're killing noobs and monkeys, but let's do it. Yeah, it just feels a little weird. I don't know. Like combat's good, but there's been better combat. Like I'm only hearing my hits, but I don't hear their hits as well. Like the sound effects are a little off. You notice I'm not hearing any like of my impact. Like when they hit me, I don't hear it. All right, next up at number 13 is Row Fruits, and this one's interesting. Actually, this is called Row Fruits 2. It looks kind of like meme-like. The only thing I didn't like about this game is you don't really have a safe zone as a brand new player to the game. You can kind of get absolutely destroyed by players right away. Kind of like the first game or number 20 that we went through, where you're just kind of minding your own business trying to do quests, and then you get completely wiped. So like I'm just over here, right? I'm just over at this sign. I'm just getting a quest, and this guy just comes up and swipes me like this. And to me, that's uncool. You just scared away a new player. Like I could have given good word about this game, and maybe more players would play it. But when you come up and just swipe brand new players like this and hunt them down just so you can get bounty, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. It really doesn't. This is when you really need to have like new player experience, kind of make it safe. You know, don't make like the new player experience like really difficult, where, you know, high levels are just like completely, you know, griefing new players. Like I'm just like trying to do quests, and this guy's coming up and swiping me. Look at this. All I'm doing is just killing these guys, and he just absolutely wipes me. Yeah, I wouldn't play this game again. All right, next up we have a game called Anime Tales, and they did add devil fruits to this. This one's a little, you know, if you remember the like anime, I think it was what was it, anime fighting simulator. There was like superpower simulator or superpower training simulator or something like that. You remember those, like kind of work your defense, you work your like strength, you work your wisdom and such. It's kind of like one of those games, but they did add devil fruits to this game, so it's kind of like just a general anime style game. You do this, and it's not really like truly One Piece. It's just kind of like One Piece is involved in there. I wanted to include it because it is a fun game to play. If you like those kind of like training simulator style games where you know, like have to build up defense, you got to build up wisdom or energy, you got to build up, you know, strength or weapons. And I like their UI. Their UI is real clean. It's real easy to get stuff, real easy to navigate. Just a clean game overall. I also like the outdoor scene, like with all the ships and stuff. It definitely screams One Piece. Like this looks really cool. All right, next up we have a game called One Fruit. It is a simulator. I think it's like one of the few like One Piece simulators out there. You know, they got a ton of fruits. They got Invisible Spin, Kilo. Like they got all the fruits, dude. It's a really clean game. You're gonna like it, I think, especially if you like simulators. If you don't like simulators, I'm surprised you even play Blox Fruits because Blox Fruits is definitely a simulator. But they got 4,000 players playing this game, and the UI. Look at the UI. It's real clean. You basically go around doing your quests, just like in Blox Fruits. You go up to these guys, do the quest givers. Big difference between a simulator like this versus like actual Blox Fruits is there's less chances for like hidden weapon quests and such. Like there's a little bit less secrets involved with the quest system. But I've only really played the game like on this particular island. I didn't get to travel to new islands and such, so I'm sure there's a lot of that still in the game. But I just really like the UI. Like the visuals of this game are stunning. Like look how clean the UI is. The combat's real clean too. Nice sounds, nice weapons. This is an ice fruit. You can see the masteries on the right. It's basically the same thing. They got all the same stuff. You got masteries, you got levels, you got mobs, you got like fruits. It feels like you're playing Blox Fruits, but in a very simple, like basic way. It's really cool. So highly recommend checking this game out. All right, next up we have a game called Final Sea, and it is a continuation from Grand Pirates. So if you remember the game called Grand Pirates, it got renamed to Final Sea. They do have a bunch of fruits already. Not quite as many as Blox Fruits, but still quite a few. They have a lot of likes here, 8,000 likes, and there's only like 400 players on. I like the camera movement there. It looks real clean. I love this movement. Like this is very cinematic. I love it. It's super, super clean. The models look clean. The lighting looks really high contrast. It's very vibrant. You can talk to this guy. I like the UI. Movement feels good. More than anything, I think the combat's probably one of the best combat systems I've seen. Just visually, it just looks really good. Their bodies aren't falling apart. The only thing is you don't see your character, which is kind of Like some people like being able to see their characters. I do. I like being able to see my avatar versus a custom avatar, but it's still pretty cool. I like that there's an actual menu button on the bottom left. Like some of these games don't even tell you that they have a menu. One game that I was playing, and it's coming up still, didn't even have like a menu button. They didn't even tell you that there was a menu. So for the longest time, I couldn't figure out how to like turn off music and get to skills and stuff. And it was apparently you had to hit the M button or M key. And the crazy thing is it's located on their description. And most people don't read full descriptions. They just don't. But it was at the very bottom of the description. Hit M for menu. I was like, oh my gosh. But this, you can see that this one has a menu button. The walking on this thing's kind of weird though. Look, he walks a little weird, right? It's like walking sideways. All right, next up is a pretty popular one called Fruit Battlegrounds. The thing about this one is I didn't really know what it was about. It was like the first time jumping in here, and I will tell you I was quite disappointed and also pleased. So you can see right here, you do spin for a fruit when you first join the game. You cannot enter the game without a fruit, which I really like because that basically eliminates this whole like mastery of like melee and swords and all that. No, they got like abilities out the gate. The animations are kind of funky. Like you see, he kind of like looks weird. Like he kind of just I don't even know how to describe this. It looks awful. But I like the UI. It's clean. I love the effects, like the whole fruit. It looks like I start out with like a desert fruit or something. I don't know what I spun, but I think I got like sand fruit or something. But you start out with these like respawn dummies, and you can level up your skills pretty quickly by just like killing these guys. The only downside is their UIs, you know, and their controls are kind of weird. Where you see like when I shot that just now, it actually deselects it, so I can't do it again. So I have to like keep reselecting the keys when the cooldown's done. It's just weird. Like I don't think I've ever seen a game do this where you actually like it deselects the button you had selected. So I think they should, you know, look into correcting this. The other thing I didn't know about this game when I was playing it is that it's an all-out PvP fest. Like I thought it was going to be like PvE for a bit, and then like you can opt into PvP, kind of like all the other games like Blox Fruits and such, where you're kind of like in a safe zone for a while. and people don't really mess with you for the longest time. Like, I just wanted to like farm, but apparently that's not an option. No, you know what? People are gonna just straight up kill you while you're just minding your own business. Like, I was just doing stuff over here, and then like some dude comes in here and like just completely wipes me. And see, when I have my guard down, it's just, I hate it. But no, you know what? This guy had to come up. Then he starts going crazy. So like, look at this guy. Dude, I didn't even start this. I practically kill him. He's kind of weak. I mean, considering I just started playing the game. And some other guy joins. He decides to absolutely wipe us. Like, to be fair, the devs do describe the game very well and say it's a, you know, kill your friends or fight your friends inside a simple fruit battle game. And that's super clear if you read the description. But I assumed it's just another One Piece game, like Blox Fruits, and then I get completely demolished. I like that animation, though. It's cool. Next up, we have Master Pirate. They got 102 players, but, you know, it's actually pretty decent. That's why we're coming up on this one. I like the world. I like that they got, like, instead of leopard, it was, like, this wolf guy, which is pretty cool. You also hear a howl. But combat feels pretty decent. I like it. Very simple, very familiar, very Blox Fruits. Nice, clean quest UI, nice UI in general. The animations don't look too bad. I like the effects. This is probably closer to Blox Fruits like King's Legacy. The only thing I don't like is you could go PvP mode too soon. I don't like that, you know, you're immediately in PvP inside the starter area. This is the bandits area. Like, this guy and I can start fighting each other. Like, someone could come in here and gank us if they wanted to, which kind of gives some negative points to this game over that. But fortunately, the players were not trolling. You know, considering there's so many, like, One Piece choices. Oh, here's the boss. This is the boss battle real quick. It's pretty easy. Which is correct. Like, he should be easy as a first boss, you know? Next up, we got Pro Piece. I like the man face. Like, who doesn't like man face, dude? Very simple combat. I mean, it's kind of like a, and you know, in between of, I would say, Grand Piece and Pixel Piece, where you get stunned a lot, but not so much that it's unplayable. By the way, this is one of those games that you have to know that you have to hit M. Like, I had no idea you had to hit M in order to be able to open up these menus. It's insane. But yeah, you have to hit M to be able to open up the menu. At that point, you can turn off the music and stuff. This is their Dark Blade, by the way. Pretty much the same as everything else. These guys just gave me, this guy right here, Hampturg, gave me a Fire Fruit. So thank you, Hampturg. Their Fire Fruit is actually really cool. Dude. I didn't expect this. That was clean. Like, their effects are good. Their audio is kind of loud, but they're good. Yeah, I like the sword. The game feels good. It's definitely one of the better ones. Combat felt good. Yeah, I would definitely play more of this game. All right, next up we have Grand Piece Online. I've mentioned this game quite a bit. It is pretty popular. You know, it was made 5 years ago. They have 4,000 players active. They get a ton of likes. This is a pretty popular one with players. Like, a lot of players, you know, refer to this. The one thing I would say is, one, you know, you have to hit M, and I didn't know, you know, that at the time, so I don't have any audio going right now. Someone does actually save the day and tell me, you know, they told me that M is the key for getting that menu. The one thing I did not like about this game, and I like, to a point that I probably wouldn't play it again, is the combat. Like, and you have to, like, block, and then you can hit back. Otherwise, if you try to hit at the same time, they'll totally combo you. So, like, I'm just trying to charge up, but I can't even do a charge up attack. I can't do a heavy punch. I can't do a gut punch. Like, look at this. I let go before he could hit me. It just feels broken. It feels, like, kind of off, like it's unfinished. But one thing I will tell you is their avatars are killer. Look at this avatar, dude. That is a nice looking avatar. Also, their effects are insane. Like, look at these fruits. That looks good. Like, look at these. Animations are solid. Like, I really like the look of their avatars and the visuals of their fruits. So maybe the key is just to get away from, like, normal combat. I'm not sure. These players did tell me the game is a little harder. It's a little unforgiving. They also told me that it's really hard to get fruits. So if you're open for a game where you can get fruits very easily, this is not it. Dude, look at that one. That looks so cool. Animations are good. Next up, we have, no surprise, King Legacy. King Legacy is a solid game. Probably one of my favorites, honestly. Like, if you're looking for just like a straight up alternative to Blox Fruits, I feel like this one's just a slight upgrade from Blox Fruits. Now, the reason why I think it's an upgrade from Blox Fruits is visually, it's just better. Visually speaking, it is just a better experience. I really like their effects. I like the abilities. I do like these, like the whole beam, and then I like the bullet. I like the Magnum here. Magnum's cool, but I don't know. It feels like a good game. I really like it. Now, you know, the question is how good is King's Legacy versus Blox Fruits long game, like late game? And I'm only on like level 319. I could tell you when I was playing this, I made a separate video of this, but I will tell you so far, the game is really solid. And I know as the game progresses with levels and worlds, it's always going to get better. So I still need to play more of this game, but I will tell you, definitely worth playing. All right, next up we have a game called Legend Peace, and it's not very popular, surprisingly, but it probably deserves it. Like, it's a pretty well-polished game. I like the UI. It's pretty clean. It does feel very mobile-like UI. It's kind of big. At least the top left part's big, but it's just a solid game. I like the combat. Feels clean. I like the levels. I like the feedback. Good feedback when you get hit. Good feedback when you like kill them. The map's pretty clean. I like the map design. Much more textured than like Blox Fruits. Much more decorated too. I also like this combat area over here. It was real clean. Yeah, not a bad game. I liked it. Whether it's better than some of the other ones, I don't know. Like this one, I'd probably rank like maybe top 10, you know, somewhere in the top 10. All right, next up we have Pixel Piece. You can notice that this game is still in like playtest and it's in private mode. I do have some footage of when I tried it when it was live, and you can see right here they've got 14 million visits. They looks like they've been doing some playtests. This is a game by Jandal. You know, he's an excellent dev. Like if you haven't heard of him, he's done a lot of great games like Field Trip Z. He did like Steep Steps and such. But you can see right here, he says, "Hey guys, the game is releasing Friday at 2:30. Everyone will keep their levels." And that was like only 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like it's coming. Like it's coming back. So here's the game. It's very pixely. Like it's kind of a voxel, like Minecrafty style looking version of One Piece, which honestly is really excited for me because I like that style. I love the pixel, like voxel style, and he did a really good job with this world. I like the UI. The interactions are slick. I like the animations. I like the exclamation marks. Everything just feels like cleanly stylized and consistent, which just shows the quality of Jandal's work. There's only one thing I would say that I didn't like about this game, and it's the combat. And combat's so crucial to like the success of a game. What I didn't like about this game's combat, and granted this is from February. This footage you're seeing right now is from February. It's been like 4 months since I played this game. But I will tell you what I didn't like about this is you get combo to a degree that's just kind of like Grand Piece like this. You can see a little taste of it right here. Like I'm just trying to hit him. If you go up to a group of players, you're gonna die. So here's the sword combat, pretty good. You still get like comboed pretty hard. When you have a group of players, let me show you like a group of these guys. So this guy starts hitting me behind. I can't get out of this. I'm just trying to get out of it. I can't. That's ugly. Even again, look at that. And then I go up here. But yeah, it's not a clean combat system right now. And I feel like early game, they shouldn't have this. And the next up, we have one of my favorites. It's Project New World. This game is absolutely underrated. They have 137 likes, but only 122 players. Doesn't make any sense to me. Don't ask me why. But I feel like this game is absolutely underrated and deserves tens of thousands of players, if not hundreds of thousands. And it's just like one of the best looking games. Like, but look at this. I just picked up a mystery fruit. Watch what happens. Dude, looks like I just choked. I just got absolutely wrecked. But no, I'm good because it did actually stick. Like, it's just part of the effect. It looks like I don't really know what fruit this is. I can't remember what it is. I do like the quest giver. Like the quest giver sound is cool. Like the UI is clean, the text is clean. I really like the UI on this one. Probably the best out of all of them. Love the, like the whole world build is really clean. Combat's solid. Good animations. Honestly, this game's probably like, in my opinion, one of the best One Piece games out there right now. I mean, I would say it's probably better than Blox Fruits, but I haven't been far enough into the game to be able to make that comparison, truly. Like, I'm only level 18, so I probably need a max level before I can make that judgment call. But I would say this one's absolutely worth the time of a lot of Blox Fruits players and One Piece players. It's an amazing looking game. The problem is sometimes the ugliest games are the best games. But you can see, like, look at this fruit. This fruit is so funny. I got like this split car, and I'm driving around as my avatar as a car. It's so good. So the nice thing about Blox Fruits is, well, it's an established game, the most popular game too, which means there's going to be a bigger player base. There's going to be a lot more support for it. There's going to be most likely a bigger development team and a lot more updates. And you can see Blox Fruits has been doing a lot of updates, a lot more frequently lately. And with their upcoming revamp, it's going to be huge. They have really great in-game content. The whole Awakened Races thing was really cool. They have tons of secret content, which I love. Visually speaking, I think the game is very boring. in the visual standpoint. A lot of people like the style of the game. I actually don't, and it's always turned me off as a player as I go in there and I'd be like, dude, this feels like, so it feels like it's a 6-year-old game. Not a game for 6-year-olds, but, you know, like a game that's been around for 6 years. It just looks very old Robloxy, very simple, very plain. Looks like it uses too many materials and too many blocks, too many square objects. Anyway, if I missed one of your favorite One Piece games, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, peace.